But coming out for Northern Gaming Red on the defensive team, we do have Junkrat, played by Exion, Wolf on the Widowmaker, Chance back on Reinhardt, Naptime on the Mercy, Bread Expert, beautiful name, absolutely the best name in the game, on Lucio, and Bird, the Ringer, and the sub for today on the McCree.
Yeah, and Bird being on McCree is no surprise whatsoever. That is usually what Mangachu would be on here on the defense in times where we've seen him. Meanwhile, taking a look here at the Huniepop Pro side, it's going to be Empiric on the McCree, Blood Edge on Lucio, Fozen on 76, Peg on the Mercy, Raziko on Reinhardt, and Icon once again on Widowmaker. So as predicted here, it's going to be Wolf versus Icon to start things out. And we'll see how Icon does up against Wolf. My gut guess here is that Wolf would probably have an edge to start with, but we're just going to have to see. Both teams going to play it out, and here we go. The gates are opening.
Yeah, I'm looking at this very, very interesting position that they're using to actually leave the spawn. Empiric's going out on his own at the bottom, but they do have the Reinhardt barrier up there, just to make sure that Icon has the best possible chance to find those snipes that he needs to, just to give him that little bit of extra protection. But now they have dropped down, they are going to start moving in, try and get position around the fountain maybe, or not the fountain, the statue, try and get around, wrap around the team, basically find the perfect angle for engagement. But they've got to be careful not to stall out here too much, because Junkrat does throw a bomb in, the barrier does go down as well. Now they're going to be so careful because they're going to wait for that, but oh no, Empiric goes a little bit ahead and Bird manages to punish that mistake as Chance goes in for an engagement.
Yeah, Bird definitely had some impressive showings on a variety of teams earlier in tournaments this month and into the latter part of May. Exion, though, takes out Peg. 2 down here for the offense. The offense now slowly bleeding people in the alley. Bird coming in for the cleanup. Exion helping out, and they are going to wipe out the remainder here of the offense. And that's always a little bit rough for an offense where you get 2 or 3 people picked off as you're getting position, then you have 3 people stuck in a corner like that. The defense can and will swarm you down.
In the meantime, Icon did actually manage to strike back, did find Wolf, and there isn't a Symmetra on this defending team, so they won't be able to basically get that teleporter up nice and quickly and reinforce in time. So if they can make something happen quickly, but Axion, actually with the tire coming up, can't find anyone with it, they're just staying back nice and safe. They might have bought them the time they need to get Wolf back into position to make sure that, you know, that Widowmaker can find the picks that she needs to actually make things happen. But here they go, it looks like they're ready to start fighting for the point.
Yep, the offense right now for Huniepop not wasting any time as Exion immediately getting the double kill off the flank, makes it a triple. Exion stopping this push before it begins, going to get the quad. And this is why you cannot ignore a Junkrat here on this point. They weren't paying attention to him as he came in from the hotel flank, and they paid dearly for it as Exion just cleaning them up.
Yeah, just a little bit slow on that engagement. They sort of inched forward with the Reinhardt, but little did they know that Exion was waiting in the hotel. He's definitely booked himself in there, and now he's just spamming through grenades, making sure that they can't afford to take their time pushing. Like every time they walk over as well, they're just getting blown away by these concussive mines, sending everyone off in the air, maybe sort of giving Wolf something to do as they do a play pitch.
We have the tire coming in.
Tire, wrap around the back.
Tire, oh my goodness, is this happening? It's just so close. It almost got in through the back, but as they were killing the tire, Bread Expert actually spamming down Empiric as the Lucio, and that is going to delay the offense a little bit more. You definitely don't want to go in without your McCree. It looks like they're going to try anyways. I don't like this look here from the offense. The only way this is going to work out well is if Khan gets a pick, but Khan not able to get in on the Wolf. Wolf being protected by that Reinhardt.
Yeah, they've got to be so careful right now. They're waiting for Empiric to come back. There he is. That's managed to rejoin the team, but they're still forced back into this position here. And this is actually going to be really difficult. If Junkrat can get in place, as Wolf finds Icon as well, so that's going to make it even harder. Now they can't rely on a couple of those picks. There goes the speed boost. They're going to wrap around, try and get to this high ground, and drop down and engage the fight from there. But I'm not sure they can find it, as Axion again just spamming into there. Finds another quick pick.
Look at Bird. Bird through the bottom, takes out Empiric, stops him in a McCree versus McCree battle. And now there's a few people remaining on the offense, but they're really split up. And look at Bird. Bird is going to go towards the other spawn here, looking to get free picks. And Lucio might be having a bad time. They're going to run into a flashbang and get taken out. Good decision-making there by Bird to get on that as he's going to 2-shot the Mercy for the double kill. And right now, everything's going in favor of NG Red. They want to defend here for another minute and 45 for a successful first point hold, and things just not going the way of Huniepop right now.
Yeah, and especially for NG Red, they didn't have to spend many ultimates at all, so now they have pretty much everything ready as Wolf again gets the better of Icon, does manage to find that pick again, so it's going to just keep them slowed down, but it's really interesting to see them try and take this high ground path. The Huniepop Pro sort of jumping around, then getting into a really tight spot, not engaging fast enough as Wolf finds another pick as well. They've got to be so careful not to give away these free picks, because it's just going to slow them down even further, and they only have time for 2 or 3, maybe more pushes if they're fast, and the ultimate advantage, well, it's actually pretty even on both sides, as both sides look really ready to go.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the ult advantage, because looking at right now, they're going for one major last push. They're going to blow every ult on this. They're going to leave it all here on point A. Here they go, moving in. Every ult will be used. Sound barriers down for both teams. And both Reinhardts have Earth Shatter. They're waiting for their opportunities. And Empiric with the Deadeye going to get the double kill. Icon with a bit of off as Junkrat getting some work done. There's the Earth Shatter. Good drop Chance to the floor. Chance, though, coming right back with Earth Shatter of his own. Defense not done yet. Resurrection is up as Wolf over the top gets the double kill. And the defense going to survive this onslaught, getting the last few kills they need. And the offense just pretty much burned everything on that there, huh?
Yeah, that was that was close, but then Wolf just sort of got left unmolested on the high ground, just could snipe and just find all the picks that he wanted. It looked really good there for a moment, like Empiric managed to move past Chance's shield and got the Deadeye through it, so managed to find a lot of damage here. It looks like they're just going to try and go for it. They only have 10 seconds left, so they've got to make something happen right now, but oh no, Bird finds a couple of kills, and Exion's in position, well, just to stand away, as it looks like they're going for a last desperate push onto the point.
Yeah, Bird with the absolute cleanup here. Gets the triple kill, man. 2 from Deadeye, 1 from left clicking. 1 second remaining here, and that is going to be it. NG Red with a dominant defense here on Kings Row. And again, just going to re-explain what we did in the last round is that we judge teams on a map performance basis done by stopwatch. But in this case, because Huniepop was not able to get through point A, what this means is that all NG Red has to do for a superior performance on Kings Row is capture the point that Huniepop wasn't able to. So if they didn't capture point A, that is it. The map is over, and it'll be 1-0 in favor of NG Red.
Yeah, Axion there, 20 kill streak, 20 eliminations. So I'm guessing he didn't actually go down. Maybe if he did go down, he got resurrected and picked right back up. But that's pretty crazy. It just looked like Huniepop Pros looked a little bit slow on the engage, just looked a little bit indecisive. Couldn't quite get in there in time. And every single time they did that, Bird was ready to punish them with a flashbang, and Axion was just in position to spam them down with grenades, finding all the damage he wants to as a Junkrat, and getting behind that Reinhardt barrier as well. Hitting the big clump team is really going to make them hurt. They did almost manage to push through on that final push where they just fired off everything and sort of hoped that it stuck, but didn't manage to get Chance down fast enough either, I thought, in that fight. So he did manage to land a counter Earth Shatter and stay alive a little bit longer than perhaps he should have. And then Wolf just got into position, wasn't able to get shut down, and cleaned up basically everyone on the point. It's so important in these matches just to keep that Widowmaker basically in check and make sure that she can't just stand there and shoot and line up all her shots, because she's so dangerous. She can kill everyone so quickly.
No, absolutely. Widow is one of the most dominant heroes in the game. In many people's eyes, perhaps a little bit too dominant. She does decide a lot in regards to which team is going to be victorious. And I gotta say, Wolf definitely got the better of Icon over that last round. We'll see if Icon can have a little bit better luck here as he defends as Widowmaker. And speaking of defense, coming up from the Huniepop side, it's going to be Rosico on the Reinhardt, Peg on the Mercy, Icon on Widowmaker, Empiric on McCree, Blood Edge on Lucio, and Frozen going to round things out here on the defensive Junkrat. And one notable omission here is that there will not be a Symmetra for the defense. Well, we'll see. Usually, Blood Edge does have the ability to switch off to a Symmetra, but usually if you're running the Symmetra, she would be getting speed boosted out by Lucio, and someone else would be switching off Lucio. So I don't think we're going to see a Symmetra here. And that's, it's interesting given how much we've seen Symmetra Junkrat as of late.
Yeah, I mean, Symmetra is just really good for... If you manage to hold off the first push, then she basically means you can hold off the second push if it ever gets through. She's the lifeline if they manage to get onto the point, basically, because if they do and you don't have a Symmetra or a Resurrect or some way to get back into the fight, then you basically have to concede that point pretty much immediately. But meanwhile, on the attacking team, it does look like they've settled down. Northern Gaming Red running the McCree with Bird, Chance on the Reinhardt once again, that time on Mercy, Wolf back on Widowmaker, Bread Expert on Lucio, and Exion on the Roadhog. The Street Pig has come out, and he's going to be looking for a few quick picks here. I'm very curious to see how they're going to utilize this. They've got to go in aggressive, in my opinion. Got to find a very fast pick. Maybe try and get rid of this Junkrat spamming away on the side. See what they can get off the back of that. Also, interesting to note, no Pharah at the moment, and it looks like they are starting to trade blows.
Yeah, usually you would see Mangachu here in the fair. I don't think Bird is as comfortable on that, so you might just see Bird here as a McCree specialist. That is what he has played more so in the past. And that just might be an adaptation here from NG Red, given that they don't have Mangachu here playing for them today. But here they go, the offense now moving forward, looking for their opportunity. And again, they don't have to move with a whole ton of haste here. They do have a lot of time, but they're moving in. Here we go. Reinhardt moving in, Lucio speed boost as Bird able to take out Empiric for first kill of the game. Exion with a follow-up hook. 2 quick kills here for the offensive NG Red. And if they can get 1 or 2 more kills, that might be it. But here comes Riptire coming in from the defense. Will it connect? It's moving in from the side. And Riptire is going to get taken up by Exion. And the offense just on top of the point. The defense not able to get back in. And it is over before it has begun. NG Red going to take this in a lightning fast attack.
Holy moly, I was watching that fight and I was actually keeping my eye on Pegdot for most of that, the Mercy, just wondering when they were going to drop that res, but unfortunately it looked like the team were basically just dying one by one. They never sort of got that big sweep, and then they just sort of ran around the point, never really getting on it, never contesting it for very long, and so basically Northern Gaming Red were just able to sweep onto it, stand on it, claim it very quickly. The Resurrect never came through, never bought them any of that nice little bit of time that you can buy with a Mercy Resurrect by just basically using the Resurrected Immortal players until they become vulnerable, just to give you that little bit of extra opening. I was also very amused to watch the Roadhog just try and fish for his counterpart in Junkrat. Just kept throwing hook after hook after hook in that hotel, hoping for that quick pick. Never quite found it, but didn't matter in the end. Just Northern Gaming Red looking really strong. And what's really interesting to me here is the difference watching Northern Gaming Red, how clean and tight they are compared to the Huniepop pros. And then from that first map we saw where the Huniepop pros looked so solid against those the baby boys, basically looking, you know, it's just that difference of very practiced team, very rehearsed team, looking so strong and looking basically like they're playing in their element here, and they look settled in and ready to go.
Well, one big advantage, too, when you see the teams are more experienced at the game and all the rest, is that they take advantage of opportunities. Once you saw NG Red get the first pick, you saw them become much more aggressive, look to sort of push into the defense even more because they know that they have that player advantage. And once you have that player advantage, if you get another pick to go on top of it, at that point, you've effectively won the fight, because once they got to a 6v4, it's very difficult to bring it back unless you say have a Widow in the back that's going to grab some of the people. But even then, the first team to get those first 1 to 2 kills is at an absolutely enormous advantage. And coordination and taking advantage of it is a big part of Overwatch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those what I'd like to see from Huniepop pros in this match is just the pushes coming out a little bit faster. They sort of got into position, started jockeying back and forth, but never really seemed to commit to the engagement until the very last moment. It wasn't quite as, I don't know, clean as you expect out of some of these higher tier pro teams that have been practicing basically from the closed beta. And I'd like to see Huniepop pros just be a little bit more a little bit faster, a little bit more decisive, get the Reinhardt and McCree in there as quickly as possible, get that combo going that you see pros use to engage so quickly. So you speed boost in, throw the flashbang over the Reinhardt barrier, and then charge the Reinhardt to take him out as quickly as you can. But they just seemed indecisive, a bit slower, and that let the Widowmaker sort of find the picks. It didn't left Wolf basically alone to do what she wanted, and it was just so difficult for them to find the rhythm that they sort of wanted to get out of it and find those engagements, engage cleanly, and win the fight and turn it as nicely as they liked.
And we'll see if they have a little bit better luck here on this map. But while we are talking about the teams, let's talk about NG Red here and their offense. It is going to be nap time on the Mercy, Bread Expert on Lucio, Wolf on the McCree, Chance on Reinhardt, Exion on the Zarya, and Bird will be filling in here for Mangachu on a Widowmaker. So usually you see Wolf on the Widowmaker, Bird, I think, more of a hit scan specialist, and they're going to have him take a whirl at what many people would consider one of the most important positions here in Overwatch.
Absolutely, and meanwhile on defense we have Sako on the Reinhardt Blood Edge on Symmetra. I do love that pick on this map. Icon back from the Widowmaker's bird. Oh, just cheats over, doesn't actually manage to find anything. Of course, the Empiric on the McCree, Fosin on Junkrat, and Pegdot on the Mercy. It looks like they've already managed to get through that little tight choke point. That's normally one of the big sort of stumbling blocks, but they're starting to wrap around, trying to find position. And this could be dangerous because, well, I could actually manage to find burst. It does give them a little bit of an advantage here as they do push forward. Chance goes down immediately to an Empiric. And this is actually looking like they've managed to slow up this first push. Now, can they clean up the rest of them? No, it looks like they're just going to run away, use that Lucio speed boost, and disengage. So not the clean push that Northern Gaming Red was sort of hoping for there.
No, I mean, they lost 2 people right away. They were looking to be a little bit more conservative as they moved towards the back, but losing 2 people quickly will stymie the push. Respawns are coming back in, so we'll have another opportunity here. The key for the thing for them is that they get in before Blood Edge gets to teleport. As Bird able to take out Icon. Now at the 65. Here comes Northern Gaming Red, taking advantage of the situation with Fosin. Takes out Wolf immediately, getting to a bit of a brawl as the fallen defenders will be rezzed up, but the res coming up from the offense as well. Wolf is back in the fight. 66 is underway as NG Red now looking for another pick to move this forward. In comes Chance with a big charge, going to kill Risako in the back. Bird with the follow-up. 2 quick kills here for NG Red, and now NG Red in a great position to clean this up as Wolf finishing things off with the double kill.
Yep, and no teleporter up, so they won't be able to get back here in time. This is definitely Northern Gaming Red's first point here. And one thing that was very interesting to watch was Exion's positioning on Zarya was just basically bringing up these barriers. Oh my lord, they just run forward and gone to the spawn camp, making sure that they actually might get a very quick kill off the back of this. Icon actually does pick up third, however, but this is bold. This is very, very aggressive. And this could actually bite them if they aren't careful. As the Riptide does come out, can it find a target though? Exion's backing up, does manage to pick it off before it explodes. That was very aggressive out of Northern Gaming Red.
No one can hide.
And it was very aggressive at NG Red. They don't want the defense to really get established here. And I think the reason why they did go that aggro is that because the defense was spawning at that earlier spawn point, they did have a better opportunity to get prepped for the defense. The Streets phase in Hollywood can be one of the hardest phases in the game for an offense to dislodge a good defense. So NG Red wanted to get ahead of the momentum game there if it was possible in the least. And right now they're doing an okay job. Even though the defense is on top and applying pressure, they're moving the payload, which is good. But here we go. We do have the Graviton Surge coming out here from the offense, hitting... I'm not sure. That was not what he wanted.
No, that was not what he decided. He actually took the lift, or elevator, sorry. Where the audience is primarily American, so it's the elevator. He did take it up, tried to fire it back to the other team, but he just didn't find it. But, oh, Rosako took it down, and here comes the Earth Shatters.
The Earth Shatters coming in. Rosako for the defense, swarming in. Wolfville firing right back, takes Empiric out of the sky. The defense not fully getting this just yet. Icon, though, moving in here as McCree. But nap time with a huge resurrection. The offense back up to full power. And let's take a look. Bird over the top has no one on him. Takes out Icon. Took out Empiric just a moment ago. And Bird is sort of free to do what he wants as he makes it a triple kill. Bird's Widowmaker, absolutely devastating. Definitely a scary player. We've seen him in some of the open tournaments and a player to watch in general, even if he is just subbing in for Mangachu.
Yeah, Huniepop Pro is actually opting to move off the Widowmaker themselves, and now I think it's just left Bird with too much space. He can basically just move where he wants, down where he wants. The only thing he has to really be afraid of was Faro, which is now sort of swapped off as, oh my lord, they've just gone straight again for another engagement. There's a
Bird with another triple kill, just piling on, got into the corner. The defense wasn't looking for him at all. And this is why Widowmaker is ridiculous as Mercy eats the headshot. Bird putting the team on his back. He might be saying for Mangachu, but he's doing a beautiful job subbing in right now, just making the way clear for the offense of NG Red.
Yeah, and this is such a hard point to push into. This final little area is the real sort of difficult area on Hollywood to get into. We do see occasional stalls come out here. But Bird, just picks up the Riptire as well. Nothing's going right now for the Huniepop Pros. Icon goes in, does try and find the flashbang, but Zarya barrier in place, not going to go through. And now it looks like they're ready to counter-engage. Chance looking perhaps for something to start, but no, they're going to take it easy. Exxon whittling out the barrier. Icon gets into the back, does pick up Chance over, and so that could give them an opening.
Yeah, Rosaka right now moving in, gets two with the W mouse one, going to hold up the shield now, trying not to go down to the Deadeye as he drops the hammer, going to get the triple kill. Rosako desperately trying to keep Huniepop in it. And having some good Reinhardt plays to boot, does open up his team as Icon going to take out Chance to end. Bird still in the back, looking for pickups. He's going to have to wait for a few more people to respawn here in the offense.
Yeah, now they're actually moving really aggressively. They're going straight out to try and meet them as far as possible. This could be punished, though. Empiric does find Birds with the Soldier 76, actually killing off the Widowmaker there, putting a lot of pressure on. Exxon also swat off the Zarya, going on for the Genji. Maybe trying to find a little bit of an opening in the back, trying to sort of assassinate away on the target. So I'm trying to think of who he's going for there, and it's got to be just on the Mercy and trying to sweep up as fast as possible. Just throwing the Zarya isn't optimal here. I actually really like Zarya in most situations. I think she's... I really like the clever pick when using barriers to stop flashbangs, stopping your Reinhardt doing what it wants, but here we go.
Oh, Chance with the triple Earth Shatter, opening up his team. Wolf with the follow-up on McCree. That was quick and deadly for NG Red. Everyone getting wiped out in the defense. They were just going to cruise to the end here, and a pretty quick time being sent to Hollywood. There were a few moments where Huniepop did get the better of them, but not enough, and this is going to be a brutal time to beat as Huniepop going to be taking the attack in the next round.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. That last offensive just managed to catch them all off guard. It felt like they just stormed forward, got the damage. There's the drop of the barrier, there's the Earth Shatter going right through it, and just kill after kill, and then finally finishing off with the Jedi, just making sure that no one else can sort of come in and stop them. Absolutely wonderful. Just clean engagement. Flashbang goes over, Earth Shatter goes through, stuns the entire enemy team, opens them up, makes sure that you can sweep it up nice and quickly and smoothly and easily. It's really what you want to see out of a pro team. It's rehearsed, it's practice, and that to me is just an example of a really good engage.
No, that was great, and the time to beat will be 5:17. That is a very quick time for Hollywood. We have seen faster, we have seen sub 4-minute times in the past, but Huniepop would have to dig deep and find a level that we have not seen here yet today. Everything is going to have to go right for them. I think a little bit is going to have to go wrong for NG Red for us to move on to map number 3. So we'll just see how things go.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how Northern Gaming Red do hold this first point. Just how they set up here, do they really sort of try and go for the full hold, try and contest it as hard as possible, or do they perhaps just leave it a little bit and then try and use the sniper advantage that they've demonstrated so far and really hold the streets phase, where I think they really have the advantage. They just have a lot stronger high ground play, in my opinion, than Huniepop Red. Huniepop Red, no, just Huniepop Pros. Sorry, I'm confusing both teams at the moment. But it looks like they are just about ready to sort of come out of spawn. And it's going to be curious. Like you said, 5 minutes 17, not impossible to beat. We do see occasional sub 4 minute times, but it's really going to have to dig deep and find that top tier play. And judging by the engages so far, I'm not quite sure they can do it. They're going to have to pull something out special here.
Well, the thing that's going to be very difficult for them to deal with here is that Bird, of course, going to be taking up the Widow mantle again. And after last game, why wouldn't he? And it's a little bit more difficult to get things going on the Widow on attack than it is on defense. Widow on defense does have a little bit of an advantage in terms of setting up here. And Bird very likely just perch in the back if necessary. And he's going to make things very, very difficult on the offense. But looking at the full defense coming out from the side of NG Red, it's going to be Exion on the Junkrat, Wolf on McCree, Bird on the Widowmaker, Nap Time on Mercy, Bread Expert on the Lucio, Chance on Reinhardt. In fact, Bread Expert, he will be on the Lucio. So again, no Symmetra being played here. And this is interesting given this map in the past, it seems so much double builder defense. Symmetra is suddenly missing yet again.
Yeah, Symmetra is normally really strong on this map. You can just put a couple of turrets around the archway, make sure that going through there is always going to be risky. It's going to slow your team down a little bit. But meanwhile, on the offensive team, there's some interesting picks coming out as Peg's back on the Mercy, but Fozen's on the Scientist, the Gorilla, Winston, Icon on McCree, Empiric's actually taking up the Widowmaker mantle this time, Misako on the Reinhardt once more, on Blood Edge on Lucia. So they're going with a Scientist here. They're bringing out Winston, and I'm curious to see what this is going to be used as. They're going to probably just dump it on Bird, try and get rid of that sniper threat as quickly as possible, jump over and engage. But it's so risky to do that here because, you know, Wolf's just going to be waiting for you and punish that if you aren't careful. But here we go. It looks like they're ready to test this first point.
Yep, they're moving in, and Bird with the first pick off on the game immediately punishes Empiric. The offense not wasting any time, though, getting on top, finding Exion and Wolf in a bad way, though, as Wolf and Exion fighting right back. Chance with the cleanup, and the offense really split up there in general. You look at where they died, how they died. You had some people go on to the point, and then the rest sort of just did not go in at the same time, and Huniepop getting punished horribly for what was not the cleanest of Russians.
Yeah, exactly. It just looked a little bit disorganized. We did see that Winston leap onto the Widowmaker's Bird, again finds Empiric, just finding these openings again, that little bit of disorganization, just being punished, caught off guard there by Northern Gaming Red, just keeps opening them up again and again and again. Now they have to move through this Junkrat spam, and if they don't sort of make something happen very quickly, it's just going to keep coming out. It's going to damage that Reinhardt barrier down nice and quickly and make it very difficult for them to move in. They also have to be careful because ultimates are building, and the defensive advantage is definitely a thing in Overwatch.
Yeah, if you have a failed attack, you give the defense a lot of power for them to win another defensive attack pretty easily, just because they will have that ult advantage. But here we go, the offense rushing in. Winston sort of alone on the point now. Fozen getting targeted out, but he's going to live. Icon with the follow-up takes out Exion. There will be a defensive res, defense still in this, but not the worst look here for Huniepop as they rush in. But Wolf gets the Deadeye off, takes out Peg. That's going to stop any more reses coming out here from the offense, as Bird now in the back gets the double kill. And the defense pretty much has this one. Blood Edge right now just running for his life. Does not want to stagger a death, but will get taken out by Wolf at the very last moment. And that's a pretty vital kill when you just want to delay the offense by as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, time is everything to play for here. We are using stopwatch rule set, so just that extra 10 seconds that it takes for Lucio to come back, that's going to buy them, well, that extra little 10 seconds. And every second does count here because they do still have to move the payload the entire time. Just Bird finds another pick, taking out Empiric, just keeping them back, and every death counts. Every single death is going to matter. Icon does stop the tire coming through and finding that damage, but in that time, they've got to come back, they've got to respawn, and that's a good 30 seconds there that they bought where just nothing has happened, no engagement has happened, and this is looking really dire now for the Huniepop Pros.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the overall time that's left right now, they have under 3 minutes remaining, which means that they need to win this next fight and not stop. We'll see if they can do that. The Deadeye coming out here from the offense, but Bird stops him. It will not be high noon, and now look at Chance moving forward. Gonna drop the hammer for a very quick double kill. The rest of the defense is swarming in. There's two people in the back, but it's not going to matter. The defense gonna return to the point, clean them out. And now time-wise, when there's only about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, even if the next push goes well for Huniepop, I'm not sure they have enough time to finish out this map.
They could, in theory, manage it. It's about 1 minute 30 to push it the entire distance, but they have to have 3 people on it constantly, and Empiric goes down once again. But like one big defining thing in that battle was just a tiny thing. Reinhardt's shield had a small gap in it against the from the wall. Icon was just exposed for a second. Bird took that opportunity, cleaned it out, and it looks like, well, they've got to make something happen right now if they're going to keep alive in this match.
Yeah, here they go. Fozen on the way in, coming through the door, finding McCree. Wolf has to back out a little bit, but there's a defensive sound barrier. Sound barrier is out for both teams. They're throwing everything they have back on this, but the offensive Reinhardt shield going to get torn down. Here they go, though. A bigger shot coming in from Russico. Knocks down 3 people. The barrage coming in over the top gets an extra kill, and the offense at their best look here this entire time. Nap time is dead. There will not be a resurrection, and it is looking like Huniepop is going to take this point.
Yeah, they might have just bought themselves a little bit of a lifeline, but they have to now push this all the way to the end, and I'm not even sure that's theoretically possible. It's going to be edgy stuff. It's going to come right down to the wire, and they have to just not get stalled out here, as it looks like Bosun just jumping ahead of the team, trying to create a little bit of space, does get punished for it by Wolf, though. So the Wolf lands the headshot, takes him out nice and quickly, but now they have to make sure that 3 people stay on that, as Rusako actually moves forward, looks to sort of try and, I don't know, find a kill, or just, I'm not sure what he's doing there on his own, as we do see a Tracer swap as well come out. Tracer, a little bit of a novel pick here on Hollywood. I think she's just there to buy time and stall the payload, basically. And this is looking really good for Northern Gate Red. They're cleaning right up at the moment.
No, NG Red coming in, picking up 4 kills. They're going to salt the attack even more. And time-wise, I expect GG to be called here at any moment. There's only 40 seconds remaining or so in this match. You cannot push a payload from where it is right now to the end. So NG Red will be taking this map. They'll be moving on. The Huniepop Pro is going to have to find another time to show their worth, as they will be eliminated from this tournament. But good play coming out from NG Red, and curious to see how things go for the rest of the night.
Yeah, Northern Gate Red looking really strong there. If we do see the final engagement, we will just let them play on until GG is cool, but I imagine it'll be relatively soon. And I'm still very curious about this Tracer pick. It sounded like you'd heard this, seen this before. Tracer not common on this little area because you can't quite get to the high ground fast enough, so a lot of teams opt away from her instead, going for the Genji. But I'm curious to see why the Tracer was sort of brought out.
Tracer in defense is underrated. It's something that can be really good at delaying. You can get on the card, of course, and just stall out until people actually go around and then blink out. And there's a lot of times where if you have Pulse Bomb, you can just get in on the offense as they're setting up, attach a Pulse Bomb, and end the push that way, much in the same way that Widowmaker would end the push with a quick pick. But we do have GGs getting called here from both teams. It is official. We are going to be moving on. NG Red moving on to the round of 64 here in the Operation Breakout Qualifier Day number 2. All these teams fighting for their right to participate in the main tournament for $15,000 later on in the month.